What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Player 1 and 2 Inc. I'm Omni. I'm just going to take a couple minutes to go over the Xbox game showcase. I'm just going to be talking a couple of points about the games and how I feel about it and whatnot. And this year for this showcase, I ain't feeling it, man. I looked at it today with my brother, and we weren't too impressed. I mean, it's always good, of course, but it didn't hit home. It didn't hit home, and I think that's mainly because there were a bunch of new IPs that many people didn't know about. You got to start off with the big brothers, okay? So you got big brothers like Halo Infinite. You got big brothers like Psychonauts. That's beautiful classic, by the way. There was no Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay. They were working on Gears of War 6. There was no like teaser for Gears of War 6, and there was not enough gameplay. There's not enough gameplay. It's basically just another showcase, basically a showcase. And I mean, they fixed it this time, but it just didn't hit the mark like it should have. Like with the last one, they had Xbox, gameplay. And it wasn't really gameplay at all. Now this time they got it right. They gave it, Xbox showcase. And I'm thinking they're gonna probably do it right this time. Put some gameplay. And lo and behold, there was no really gameplay. I understand it's a showcase, but you want us to get hype and things like that. Give us a show. Give us a show. Don't give us these videos. Don't give us little trailers, this and that. Give us some gameplay. That's what we're really looking for. I mean, of course, the graphics look great and everything. Like, it's fine. It's great. It looks gorgeous. It's beautiful. Beautiful, but it didn't really hit the mark today. It didn't hit the mark this year, and I think they should have waited. And that's totally fine if it worked for other people. I'm not knocking them at all. It didn't work for me this year, and I'm thinking to myself, like, if they weren't really ready, for this type of showcasing, the way for our standards, they could have waited a little bit more and got the bigger brothers in, the bigger IPs in, until like we're ready. I mean, I understand if they're not ready, you gotta give what you gotta give, but like I said, it didn't hit the mark for me this year. So bigger brothers meaning those IPs I mentioned before, Assassin's Creed, Halo, and Gears of War. Now those guys have a bigger, much more bigger fan base, and I'll give a credit to, they were contenders there. A sense of like big brothers, like Fable, Ori and the Wisp, State of Decay. Those guys are pretty much contenders, but they're not like the face of Xbox. At least that was for me personally. And I think those games will have a bigger fan base than Stalker or Ori. But and please correct me if I'm wrong on the statistics on that. But if they were to have those certain games in there, it would make the showcase, and then bringing those little IPs in there, the ones that not everyone else really much more experience with, but if they were to bring those guys in later, it would have been much more of a grounded experience, a much more pleasurable experience. And if they weren't ready, they just should have, held it off some or got rid of it altogether. And I'm not trying to say that what I'm saying is true and should be taken to a professional accountability, but I'm just a consumer. I'm an avid consumer. I have both the Xbox and the PS4, if you can see it right there a little bit, kind of right there a little bit. And I have a website here going by the name of The Verge. It does tech and reviews, and it covered the showcase itself. And we're gonna take a little look at it and give a little couple thoughts. See, now we only have the really big contenders like Halo Infinite, don't really know what that is, Fable, Froza, Destiny 2, another game we don't know about, Outer Worlds, Tell Me Why, Psychonauts, Crossfire X, which seems to be like another Call of Duty, but I guess it's third person, don't really know yet. Dragon Quest, Stalker 2, don't really know what that is yet. Phantasy Star Online, it's pretty good. The Medium, maybe, but really I think this whole Xbox Game Showcase was to really put light on the Game Pass. How if you get the Game Pass, you get all these games. All these games are available, and it's not really helping the consumer really when you think about it, because you can just buy these games by itself. You know, you'll have to pay a subscription to keep these games. I feel like you'll be paying more to keep these games than just to buy one game. And if you see something else, I mean, I guess it's a nice option, but I don't see myself buying any of these games. I just want to buy the game that I might get Forza. I'm definitely getting Halo. I don't know about Crossfire. Like I said, I think it's just really a ploy for the Game Pass. I think that's really what they were trying to show here. I'll play devil's advocate too. I have the Game Pass myself, but that's only because I have a bunch of games, and people shouldn't have to pay extra for other games they won't really play. And I've been meaning to get rid of the Game Pass anyway, because I've gotten tired of it. I'm just paying extra for no reason, but that's my fault. So there are the couple thoughts about the Game Showcase. I would really love to hear you guys' thoughts. Put it down in the comment section for me. If there was an MVP of Xbox Showcase, I would love you guys to tell me. For me, it was definitely Halo Infinite. That game is gonna be legendary, man. It's gonna be so good. I mean, I'm not really all that hyped like that for certain games, but The Last of Us Part 2, that was the last real thing I was super hyped about. But I think Halo Infinite's gonna be something. And it was the really only game that we actually got solid looking, beautiful gameplay for. The atmosphere was just right, the text was just right, there was variation of weapons. It looked ready, and I was ready to play it right then and there. So like I said, put your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to hear it. I want to discuss it, all that, what the wow, la la. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you later.